Alright, we're back, and today is a grand day because we're finally tying up those loose ends that I've been going on about for the past couple of videos. These are the three things we're doing today. We are wrapping up the Lost Bastille, which is what we're doing now. We're also going to be wrapping up Heide Star of Flame and things Betwixt. This is the other side of the Lost Bastille from the No Man's Wharf side. It's not much to be honest with you. I feel like I've hyped it up beyond belief to be so sort of like this amazing area that nobody knows about, but it's literally just this, and this area you can get to from the other side as well. It's not that big of a deal, but the reason I wanted to show it, I wanted to show this side as well, and the reason you can see me take my time here and sort of really, really try and use arrows to kill everything is because it's a very dangerous area. You have 2 or 3 guys shooting fire arrows in an area with exploding barrels, which you saw. There are also some dogs, maybe 3 dogs here, which makes it even more dangerous. And there is also a pursuer here. There will be a pursuer encounter, which is why I'm taking my time and not advancing too much into this area, because I want to avoid spawning the pursuer. That would complicate matters gravely. Here's the pursuer. Again, the pursuer on his own, once you learn the fight, is not a big deal, but fighting the pursuer while dealing with 3 dogs and 3 archers shooting fire arrows, that's less easy. I'm less comfortable doing that, this is why I took my time and made sure that I can fight the pursuer in peace and in tranquility and whatever you wanna say it. This is pretty much it for the other side of the Lost Bastille. There is also an Estes shard here that we're gonna get, and another item that we'll get later. That's basically it. It's not an amazing area, and you're not missing out on too much if you decide to avoid it and not go through No Man's Wharf and all that good stuff. It's very exciting because today we're gonna be done with the first branch of Dark Souls 2. If you don't know, the game is structured into 3 or 4 branching pods that all go from Majula and meet into one point at the Shrine of Winter, sort of. You go on these 4 branching pods and you kill 4 great ones or old ones or whatever they're called, and then that opens up the Shrine of Winter, which allows you to proceed to the castle and onwards. We're done with the first branch, which is also the longest branch, I believe. It's not necessarily long as the crow flies, so to speak, but it is complex, if you will, because it's not one branch, it's sort of 2 twigs, because you can go the Force of the Fallen Giants, then Lost Bastille, then Sinner's Rise, and then you kill the Lost Sinner. But you can also go Heide Star of Flame, No Man's Wharf, Lost Bastille, Sinner's Rise, and then you kill the Lost Sinner. So yeah, there's 2 ways to go about it, and we've gone both ways for some reason. And the reason being that, this is an appreciation playthrough, so it would be wrong of me to not show off these areas. I'm not going to show any area of the game, or every area of the game, I should say, because there is at least one area that I have in mind that I don't want to go through. But we have a way to go until then. I'm also going around here because there is that dark room with the many chests that has a Pharaoh's contraption in it, and I wanted to activate it and see what's up. And the reason for that is because I remember in my previous playthrough I did specifically do that for some item that was there, and I can't remember what the item was. but we will find out that it wasn't that important of an item. So yeah. So let's see. I've gone through more of the Lost Bastille in this recording session, but I cut it out because it was sort of redundant. We've already seen this place, so yeah, but I just wanted to make sure I got everything. And guess what? I didn't get everything. There is one small area that I missed or I forgot about, and then I remembered afterwards, which is that area where you get invaded by an NPC and it has a bunch of dogs in it, and literally that's it. So yeah, I'm not sorry that I missed that area, because yeah, it's not very interesting. And so yeah. And there is also Belfry Luna, of course, with the gargoyle boss fight, but I'm gonna do that later on, because I don't feel powerful enough to take on the gargoyles just yet. So yeah, that was intentional. That was indeed intentional. And yeah, we get the soul vessel. Yeah, in the previous playthrough, I did respec a couple of times because I got it wrong. The new weapon that we're gonna use for the run has a lot of stat requirements and a lot of stat investment. So yeah, I got it wrong a couple of times. So this is why I went around and collected a bunch of soul vessels. So yeah, that's why I remember this Pharaoh's contraption. But yeah, that's about it. There is what am I doing now? What am I going? Oh, I'm going to open the quote-unquote shortcut. Do I? No. What am I doing? What's happening right now? I don't know. Oh well. Yeah, I think I go and get that other item, which I always forget how to get that item, and I always have to look up how to get it. But you will see now, and you will learn, and you will not forget, and you will not have to look it up ever again, which is the hanging item on the wall above the exploding barrel that unlocks Macduff at the very beginning of the Lost Bastille. Yeah, I always forget how to get that item, so so that's why I went specifically to it, and I went out of my way to ensure that I get it. But this is not the way to that item necessarily. It's just going through this area here and grabbing this item on the roof, because there's no other way to get up here. So yeah, and now from here I think you can go and get that item that I was talking about, which is the golden wing shield, I believe it's called. It's a mediocre shield that I'm not really interested in, but you know, it's such a mysterious item, because I always have the impression that you have to drop down from somewhere onto that wall, but you don't. As you will see right now, you have to make this jump where we looted those torches up in here, and then you walk on this ledge, which doesn't look walkable. I will give you that. And in my defense, this does not look walkable, but it is, and it's how you get that item. There is no other way to get it, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, you want to be careful around here, because it is very easy to just slide off. But yeah, there you go, the golden wing shield. So yeah, that's it. That's done. That's the Lost Bastille done. Very good. So yeah, finally, we are done with the Lost Bastille, and we can move on to more interesting things, which is to say most things, honestly. Let's see what we level up. Oh yeah, and we also got a bunch of Estus shard in this one. I keep leveling strength because yeah, as I said, I want to keep leveling strength until I'm able to use the shield in one hand, which will come useful actually in this episode. So that was a good idea that I did that. I did not expect to have to use the shield in this episode, but I did. Anyway, we are doing things betwixt now. The reason we're doing things betwixt is to tie up the loose ends, which is to say, light up all the sconces. I looked it up, and apparently these things are called sconces. This is the technical term. So yeah, there you go. I'm lighting up all the sconces. I'm speeding this up because obviously you've already seen this. It's literally the first thing you saw in the playthrough because it's the tutorial area. So yeah, it's not very interesting, but I still wanted to show lighting all the sconces, and I wanted to show you and not tell you, essentially. So yeah, I also use the smooth and silky stones here to exchange for some items, and I did get a titanite slab, so yeah, that's pretty good. I might not need it because I already have one, but who knows? It's good to have. I'm not gonna fucking discard it or anything. I'll hold on to it just in case. So yeah, and we also we're gonna unlock this statue here and get the Estus shard in this section. I'm playing this at normal speed because it's technically new quote unquote content, if you will. But yeah, we haven't seen this before, so yeah, I'm showing it at normal speed. Yeah, this is a very annoying area with these basilisks that petrify you, so not fun, but it does have an Estus shard in it, so it's important to come here. And also it has a bunch of sconces, or at least one sconce in it. Yeah, you want to come here if you want to do the thing that I want to do, which is to say light up all the sconces. This is a really stupid thing that I did. I light up the torch, and then I go here. Very good. And then I realize I light this. Very good. Very smart. I'm not complaining about that. And then I realize that I want to shoot this guy with an arrow, I'm pretty sure. The basilisks. And so that means putting the torch away. So I lit it for nothing, but oh well. Not that great of a waste. Although it was a waste because you can just drop down there. It's not that dangerous of an area. I somehow got 2 basilisks with 1 plunging attack, which is good, I guess. And I could have easily died here to this guy because yeah, as you can see, I'm getting pretty low on health, and but it would have been very embarrassing to die in the tutorial area. Although this is part of the tutorial area, but technically you need a fragrant branch of yore to come here, so it's not part of the tutorial as such. Because you're only able to come here later on. Yeah, so anyway, we continue on to another interesting area that we've seen in the tutorial, which is to say the area with the 2 ogres, I believe they're called. But first we are lighting up all the sconces to see what happens, which is, yeah, that red guy spawns and you just kill him, and that's it. That's what happens when you light up all the sconces in things Betwixt, which doesn't sound like a lot, and it isn't, but it is a thing that happens, and it's not something that the other games do, so that's something to be appreciative of, I would say. But yeah, I shoot this guy with an arrow because there are 2 ogres here, and they are obviously scripted to both attack you at the same time, because how else would this happen? I shoot one guy with an arrow and the other guy comes to attack me first. What's up with that? But anyway, these are not difficult to kill because they don't have a lot of health, because they are very early into the game. So yeah, and you can also cheese them on this improvised bridge here. You can kite that attack, and when they get up, they just die like that. So yeah, that's easy to deal with. And then this guy we just kill outright because, as you can see, he does not have a lot of health, so he dies very quickly. Very good, very good. All right. And now we come here for the 50,000th pursuer encounter, which is very good. I don't think you get something for killing all the pursuers necessarily, like an extra reward for killing all of them, but you get the souls for killing them. You get Twinkling Titanite, which is very useful if you plan to use Twinkling Titanite weapons, of course, or equipment. and I do plan to use that, I believe. It's good to have a bunch of twinkling titanite because you never know what's gonna happen. So anyway, the pursuer is dead, very good. That coffin in the background is a very weird coffin. You go in it and it changes your gender. That's it. It's very weird. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know who makes use of that because you have these people who spend a long time building or creating their character, so it's not for them clearly, because if you spend that much time to create your character, you're not gonna go, oh wait, I spent 2 hours creating my character but I forgot to choose the correct gender, so I'm gonna change the gender only. That doesn't make any sense. And then you have people like me who don't really care, and they just create a character quickly and be done with it. And so I'm not gonna say, oh wait, I meant to select a different gender or whatever. So I don't know what the point of that is, but anyway, it's there, I guess, if you need it. So yeah, we buy 999 arrows just to make sure we never run out of arrows again. I don't think it's possible to run out of arrows if you buy 1,000 of them. I guess if you play like an archer build or something and arrows are your main way of doing damage, I guess you can run out then. But for a regular playthrough, I don't think. I think we're set for life, so to speak, with arrows. So yeah, now what? Now what are we doing? Oh, I'm going to the Shaded Woods to unpetrify. I don't know what her name is. Something with an R. Rosalind, I want to say. We go to unpetrify an NPC, which will enable us to engage or open a gate to proceed further into the Shaded Woods. And I just wanted to do that now while I have a fragrant branch of yore, to make sure that I can go over there. This guy is very interesting. He has that sword which looks like the Moonlight Greatsword, but if you do his quest line, you find out that it is not, in fact, the Moonlight Greatsword, and it is a fake. So that's interesting. Anyway, we use the fragrant branch of yore, very good, and we unpetrify her. This NPC sells pyromancies and stuff like that. We're not gonna interact with her, but you do need to unpetrify her to proceed to the Shaded Woods. So yeah, they are very important, the Shaded Woods, because not only do they lead on one of the branching paths that I was talking about earlier, but they also lead to the Shrine of Winter, which is where you go to proceed to the castle. So yeah, very important to unlock this area. Anyway, you have the option to give her some clothes because she's wearing rags and she doesn't like it. She's not fashion enough. So yeah, I just gave her the leather set because it's not something that I'm gonna use. So yeah, whatever. Just give her whatever. It doesn't matter. Some people like to collect some skimpy outfits and give her that to have a revealing outfit in Majula. I don't care about that. So yeah. Anyway, what's next? What are we doing now? We're doing Heide's Tower of Flame. Very good. We're doing the difficult part of Heide's Tower of Flame, which is the dragon and the dragon slayer part. There are a lot of enemies. There are many enemies to fight along the way. So yeah, this is what it's difficult about it. It's not crazy, but you can't run. You can't rush it because at the end of the path there is a dragon. And you have to kill the dragon in order to proceed further or to proceed to the boss. So yeah, that's not a good situation to find yourself in, with all these guys chasing you while you fight a dragon. Yeah, you can do it. I've never done it. I've never even attempted it because yeah, it's very difficult. But if you take your time and just deal with every enemy, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. And this is the case for most of the game actually. If you look the most criticized areas in the game, such as Iron Keep, for example, springs immediately to mind. A lot of people say, oh, well, they just throw enemies at you and whatever. And that's true, they do. There are a lot of enemies in some of these areas, but, you know, if you kill the enemies, then the enemies no longer exist, so you can just proceed, right? Like, what's the big deal? If you're, you know, I understand that sometimes you do lose patience, especially if you die to some of these enemies and you have to do it all over again multiple times. You do lose patience, and then you start running, and that makes it even more difficult, and so you die even more, and you become bitter or salty about it. So yeah, I get it, but you know, it's not impossible to go through these areas. Obviously, you just have to take your time and be patient, and you will prevail, which is what we're doing right here. And yeah, there's no shame in summoning help. You can summon players, but that's inconsistent, so I prefer summoning NPCs. Plus, as I mentioned, the Dark Souls 2 server has been very inconsistent itself, and does not always connect to the network. So yeah, even if I wanted to summon a player, I wouldn't be able to right now. Sometimes when I do start recording, the server does work, but then I quit out and it stops working. So yeah, and I keep offline. I keep playing offline just for consistency's sake. So yeah. Anyway, as you can see, these white knights, these Heide knights, are very difficult to deal with. Some of them have some pretty instantaneous attacks, which are very difficult to deal with. I mean, you can tank them, and that's not difficult, but it's, you know, sort of counterproductive to just eat the damage. So yeah. And as you can see, there are a lot of enemies, and our durability is getting low, but we're going through it. No worries, no worries. You can actually also cheese the dragon. There is a dragon. I don't know if you can see it. You can catch glimpses of it. There is a dragon up there, and you can shoot it with arrows, and there's not much the dragon can do about it. I'm pretty sure, because I'm pretty sure I've done that in the past, but yeah, it's tedious, it's not fun, and it's you know, it's not that difficult to deal with a dragon, especially if you kill all these enemies. So yeah, it's fine. But you can do it. You can cheese the dragon if you so elect. So yeah. This guy with the spear is very annoying to deal with. Of course, the spear, very good weapon. There is a reason why the spear is the most widely used weapon in history. So yeah, very very annoying to deal with if you don't have a spear of your own. But yeah, you can deal with this guy. You can just backstab him, and it's fine. Anyway, up here you want to make sure you have a full stamina bar, and then you run. You run for your life, because the dragon gets up and starts shooting fire. So that's not... you're just gonna die from that. So yeah, you want to make sure you have a full stamina bar to make sure you reach the dragon in time. And the dragon is easy to deal with as long as you can get him to only do the stomp attacks, but I didn't, because I forgot to send the phantom home, and so the dragon did the fire attack and it knocked me off the edge, which was very very annoying, because that means, guess what, I have to go and do all that shit again and kill all those enemies again, which is not great. But don't worry, I have spared you the annoyance, and we're right back at the dragon. So yeah, that was annoying. That was very annoying, but we got through it. It's fine. We can now kill the dragon. I still forgot to send the phantom home, which means the dragon will do the attack again. Yeah. Normally, if you fight him by yourself, he will only do these stomp attacks, which are very easy to deal with, of course. But yeah, if there's more than one, he will do the flame attack. But you can avoid it by just doing that. But I panicked the first time and I didn't think to do that. So yeah. That's why I died, but it's fine. This time I will prevail and the dragon shall die. And the good thing is that the dragon stays dead, so that's good. And we get a petrified dragon bone and a watch dragon parma. The parma is a type of shield that we're not going to use, and we will definitely use the petrified dragon bone. We will use a lot of it. Anyway, I do send the phantom back home because I don't want to use the phantom for the boss. And we can now fight the boss. Ooh, that was a lot. I talked a lot there. I need to remember to breathe. I will take a swig of my coffee because it's the first part of the day. I'm not a fucking alcoholic. I'm not gonna drink at 11 in the morning. So yeah, excuse me. Very good. Now, let's fight the boss. I decide to buff here for no real reason because this is not the kind of boss that requires buffing. But anyway, the boss is the old Dragon Slayer, which for those of you who are versed in Dark Souls 1 is obviously a copy or a brethren of Ornstein, I guess. It's a Dragon Slayer, right? And Ornstein was a Dragon Slayer himself, so it makes sense that there would be more than one Dragon Slayer, and it makes sense that they would have similar armors. And I died. I did the classic Dark Souls 2 mistake, and I suppose the Dark Souls in general mistake of healing before the boss attacks. So I obviously got caught and died, which was very annoying because at this point I was contemplating a rage quit, but then I remembered the dragon doesn't respawn, so I can just run past everyone and just go straight to the boss, which is exactly what I did. This feels very weird. It feels very weird running through Dark Souls 2 because I don't usually do it because it's a bad idea. The enemies chase you to the ends of the earth, and it's usually ill-advised to run. But this time, apparently, I got away with it, so I was able to quickly reach the boss. And this is the time where I remembered I have a shield, and this is why I was happy that I leveled strength to be able to wield the shield. Because that gave me it's not that because I still took damage obviously, but it gives me the confidence to fight the boss up close and personal, because that's the sort of the strategy with this boss. You want to stay in his face at all times, because otherwise he will take advantage of the range that he has. And will do all sorts of nonsense attacks that I don't know how to deal with. But if you stay close to him, he's much easier to deal with. Of course, he has his ways of opening up that range and dealing with shields as well. But yeah, I think the crux of the issue is that I underestimated this guy, because I usually forget about him and come back much later for him when I am much more powerful, and it's like he's a regular enemy at that point. I hit him 5 times and he's dead, whereas now I am much earlier in my playthrough, and so yeah. But anyway, we kill him, so that's good, and we get the old Leo ring, which boosts thrusting attacks, which we're gonna make use of that ring. Certainly while we are using the rapier. So yeah, you might have noticed, I don't know if I mentioned this, but you might have noticed I also changed my armor. I'm using the Royal Soldier helmet with the Varangian armor. It's a bit more optimal than the imported pieces that I was using prior. Anyway, we talked to that guy. That guy doesn't talk to us because we need a multiplayer item to talk to him. So yeah, but he's useless anyway. He doesn't sell anything particularly good. So yeah, no harm, no foul, I suppose. And anyway, we can go back to Majula and do our final level up before embarking on our next branch, which is gonna be the Shaded Woods, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're gonna do Shaded Woods, and then we're gonna do the Gutter, I'm pretty sure, and then we're gonna do Huntsman Scopes and all that. And the reason I'm doing it in this way is because I am low on torches. I only have I have under half an hour of torches, so I do want to go to the Gutter because that's where you can farm some torches, because there's a bunch of enemies that drop a lot of torches in. I mean, I should say there's a lot of enemies that drop torches in the Gutter. So that's it. Anyway, that's that. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.